pieces. What's important to us is that this is a writing weekend as well, so it's about what's created in this place. And this, of course, is another way of writing, obviously. So the fact that these compositions were inspired by written here by Father Robert, I think is really kind of thrilling, and it's another way of seeing the place and the landscape and the architecture and the mood and the seasons through his music. So I think it's a real privilege to have him play for us, and we're very thrilled.
So Father Robert, would you like to come up and say a few words about it?
Thank you, Will and Stephen, for your lovely introduction. I think, maybe you're a bit overrated. Actually, not that great. Anyway, I'll be sharing with you some of my compositions tonight. And, composition is a very important thing for me now. I first, when I began my studies, composition was my major, but I was writing music in a very complicated atonal type of style, as was expected within academic music back when I was studying. But little by little I've left that behind, and I find increasingly that music is my very best outlet. Because as a person who's involved in the church, we can often be called upon to speak and to articulate things in doctrines and ideas and values. And there's always a sense that that's limited, because what we're really looking for is something which exceeds all of our words and values and creeds and doctrines. And I think music is something which is capable of expressing this perfectly. So I'm going to play a few compositions on the piano, a couple, and then I'll move to the organ and then back to the organ. So anyway, hope you enjoy it. So I'm now going to move on to the organ, and one of the things about playing the piano is that the notes are very transitory. You strike a note, and then within a fraction of a second, the note starts to vanish, to disappear. And with the organ, it's almost a completely opposite proposition. You play a note, and the note can potentially last forever. And I think this is such an important part of spirituality, of finding the interaction between the transitory and the eternal. So I hope you enjoy the piece of music. Thank you. I'm now going to move back to the piano and I'll play a couple more compositions on the piano. The first one is called a lullaby, and it's based on the repetition of a single motive throughout the entire piece, with things happening above and below it, but the same constancy continuing all the way through. So I hope you enjoy this. the final item, I'll move back to the organ. And this piece, which I'm going to play, it's not one of my own compositions. This is by the French composer Paul Debussy. This is his Clair de Lune, or Moonlight. And this is probably the least likely piece you could play on a pipe organ. So it's a very idiomatically piano piece. So I thought, could it be done on a pipe organ, which, is in a kind of aesthetic sense, almost as far removed from this piece as you could possibly imagine. So here's my own arrangement of it, and I can't guarantee that it's going to work, but
Thank you so much, Father Robert. I think we'll all go to bed tonight, considering the transitory and the eternal you've planned to go forward in my life. So that was wonderfully exciting. Thank you. And I say that we all bring to this our own images and thoughts. And certainly the first piece for me is so much of this place with the gum leaves and the weather coming through. So I'm sure we all have our own visions for it. Thank you for stimulating. We're going to wrap up with a piece called Travelling and Writing, which Will and I put together for this, which gives you, it kind of wraps up everything we've talked about today, I suppose, but in a different way of storytelling, which is kind of where I began, saying, we do this in many different ways. This is 13 minutes, my life in 13 minutes, and Will's life in 13 minutes.
I just want to say, those of you who attended some of the writing classes today, we were talking about imitation. I kind of feel inspired by Father Robert's musician style, so I'm going to try and incorporate, just keep an ear out, I'm going to try and incorporate some material in there. And just because it has a nice continuity, rather than just something that's completely.
You're frightening me, yes.
I like to do this. I say weeks to know I was going to do this. So that's
Yeah, that's what it's at.
and look, we shall see.
You ready?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So it's Travelling and Writing. Travelling and writing. One person writes words, one person reads them. There is no one else here, just you and me. It is always this person, this intimate. It requires this honesty from me, this trust from you, truth and ethic. My connection to you, and this is our true connection. I don't feel like a travel writer, I just feel like a writer travelling. I'm often away, out around and over the edge of the Indian Ocean rim, and then the world beyond this to Africa and Asia, Europe and the Americas. I am often away exploring, eyes wide with wonder, like turning a childhood page. I'm often away, but always here, in the middle of my life. I might have moved physically. My body is not where it was yesterday, not where it usually lives. But I'm always here, inside me, fully occupying myself and this moment. I never feel away, never displaced. I have long lost the sense of being over there, out of touch, out of reach, even of being away from home. I'm always in the middle of my life, looking at the world through the same eyes, whichever bit of the world that might be. I am always in the middle of my thoughts. We all are. But you can't spend your whole life running around in circles. You have to be still. And even when you're moving, you can be still inside. Movement is measured against the fixed point of the home you go back to. Home is not just the place where I live, it is the one place that lives in me. Being stationary puts emotion into perspective. In my favourite Indian city of Kolkata, I come across a bookstall on the pavement. It is just a sheet of plywood propped on 4 bricks with a strange mishmash of titles. But my eye falls on a book about self-development through the study of Hindu gods. I ask how much the book is. 50 rupees, says the stallholder. He tilts his head slightly as if in apology to this enormous cost of less than $1. I hand him a 100 rupee note to him. He wraps the book in clean brown paper, tying it in string and forming a loop so that I can carry it easily. When he hands it to me, he gives a little bird bob and smiles. I bow too and smile back. Wait. He waits. We both smile some more, and I wait. There's clearly only one thing missing in the conclusion of our transaction, as he has put the 100 rupee note in his pocket in exchange for my 50 rupee book. Unusually, I muster the courage and ask, what about change? He smiles, rather more sympathetically, and raises his hands, fingertips touching like a chapel. Ah, my friend, he explains, change comes from within. I am often elsewhere out there crossing borders, the lines on the map that shape our world, our politics and our prejudices. On one day, laptop on my back, I am crossing into the southern African kingdom of Lesotho at a remote border post. There's a simple barrier with no fence either side. I duck under it and amble up to a wooden hut with a window. 2 young men inside looking bored. What Senor, I ask, using the Sufi word for entry, the only thing I can think of. One looks up with disinterest. What football team you support? He asks, with the low sing-song sub-Saharan lilt. Without looking up, the other chimes in. If you say Manchester United, quicker. I grew up in the red and white and black, George Best. Manchester United, I say. Really? The first replies happily, as if his colleague, he hasn't heard of his colleague. This is very good. Without looking at the name or photograph in my passport, he stamps it. They're looking down again and I leave, walking away, laptop on my back. I look behind me, but the line I have crossed is lost in the mist. I have driven into the Lesotho up the sunny pass, up holes like green velvet spread over a reclining body. Out of South Africa, vertically up towards the clouds, up here on the plateau, completely surrounded by South Africa, is the kingdom of Lesotho. The roof of Africa, shrouded in mist, etched into my childhood, running through my life like an artery. When I was 9 years old, I met Father Johansen speaking against apartheid, empowered by goodness. Nelson Mandela said that no white person had done more for the anti-apartheid movement than Father Johansen. Africa caught my attention. Lesotho caught my heart. I thought my interest in the Sutu had come to me by chance, but I now see it was a place selected by the person I had already set out to become. We do not find ourselves, we make ourselves. Honesty, integrity, belief, ethic. I often trace my life's themes back to that momentary encounter with Father Robert. So many of our greatest memories, the stories we tell, come from chance meetings. So many of our greatest memories come from glanced moments. Writing, always writing, as I rattle my round through the back gardens of England, in a minibus with rain on its windows, passing a queue in Sri Lanka, people waiting to see Buddha's holy relics, driving through the citrus spruce forests of Alaska in a big pickup truck, in shorthand on the dusty roads of Madagascar. But being transported is physical and practical, and I'm taken back to a hymn from my childhood, and oh, what transport of delight from life will chalice flow. Oh, my transports of delight. I sing it aloud on a Royal Enfield motorcycle in the Himalayas, surrounded by the white shark's teeth of 8,000 years. On long turquoise swells in my sea kayak along Ninglu Reef, cantering on a feisty little horse in Kyrgyzstan. Being transported is not just about a vehicle and machine, but about a way of moving across the planet's surface and through the world. It is about moving along a songline embedded in your very essence, about creative tempo. Driving from my front door in Perth to Uluru is not just about pressing the accelerator with my boot. It is about driving to the heart of Australia. But in the Caucasus, I'm just walking, for I spend the morning alone on foot, wandering without an agenda, gradually piecing the city together in every sense. I'm in Tbilisi, Georgia, between Russia, Iran, Turkey, Armenia. Here, where winemaking was invented, in underground reveries, in monasteries and a store of energy 7,000 years ago. I'm not in a group. I do not have an itinerary. I'm not trying to make some taxi driver understand me. I have nowhere in particular to go. I'm on the ground, moving at the speed humans were truly built for. Walking. The speed of walking matches the speed of thinking. These are the most gorgeous moments. The free-flowing walking that lets a place unfold and allows for whim and serenity. I watch tour groups pass in single file, day packs, cameras, clutching water bottles in slightly crushed holiday clothes, following the guide. There are no spaces between sentences, no silences to allow a place to just respond. Given space, I am no longer in the process of visiting or seeing or even feeling a place, but absorbing it by osmosis, the process of gradual assimilation. An organic process, molecules from something less concentrated, passing through the steady permeable membrane of a more concentrated one. Me, concentrating on nothing in particular. Suddenly, it all connects. not just the layout and sights, but the emotional fabric of it. I just get it. For I was a child who wanted to be a writer, not an astronaut, who went out and discovered a most remarkable fact. Thank you. So, thank you for joining us today. Thank you for joining us here and having us talk bedtime and astrophotography to go on for those who would like to. And for the rest of us, I hope you look forward to the morning. I certainly do, and I hope you have a great night's sleep. And I hope you enjoy today. Thank you.
Yeah.